I know you're scared right now. You don't need to pretend. I can see you trembling. You don't know why I brought you here, but you know the answer can't be good. And you're right, it's not. You really thought you had it all figured out, that you knew every combination in the deck, and it would thrill you every time you were right, when the hand came down in a familiar pattern, a familiar story, about an outsider who can see the good in all of us, about how we all have the power to fight for what is right, or how we can each overcome our darkest moments. But this isn't any one of those stories. There are familiar parts, but they're all in the wrong places. And there's nothing more frightening than when all the cards lay out on the table just right. But then another card comes and changes the meaning of the entire hand, and there's no way to know what's going to happen next. Which one was that, Bats? Mercy Hospital? Or maybe Gotham General? It's hard to keep the chaos straight this late in the game. Oh, come on. You have to get into the spirit of this thing to make it right. The drugs are only interfering with your body. After all, not your mind. I made sure of that. Yeah, there we go. Look, I know this must be very hard on you. It's hard on both of us. Do you have any idea how many charts do you need to coordinate the systematic killing of an entire city? I guess you wouldn't, because that's your one line, isn't it? Killing. You and your pals. Like good old Jim Gordon. Right to the end. I heard him shout it over the radio, over and over. By the book! Bring him in by the book! But when I finally got to him, he understood. I saw it in his face, in his eyes. Right before I dissolved them, I mean. He called for his girl last, you know. Hard to hear, as his jaw was melting. Buh, buh, buh. I saved the pipe for you, though. Still warm. See, Bats, we're running out of time, you and me. We need to evolve, and fast, or we'll miss our chance. There is no by the book anymore. I threw the damn thing out, burned it. Every story, every character, one by one. All the cops, all the villains, looking for that breaking point. The joke too far. It has to exist, Bruce. I know it does. Well, tonight, I'm gonna tell it. I'll shout it from the damn rooftops. Can you hear me, Batman? Can you? Oh dear. What's this now? A lovely young family heading back from the theater. Oh, I know what happens next. Ah! Don't be afraid. You don't need your mommy and daddy anymore. You're the first citizen of a brand new Gotham, one made from the best of him and the best of me. Doesn't that sound wonderful? I, I, Now bring on the next family and the next, and keep them coming. Our line for his line. And here we go. Joker! Never. I'll never stop! Stop! No. I'll keep. Stop! I'll keep coming this way now. Stop! Your family next. No! You'll stop! Never! You still don't have the guts, Bruce. Do you? No. It's gonna be you and me together forever. Stop! Stop. Stop. He was dying, Clark. The chemicals that made him the Joker, they were starting to eat him away from the inside. That's what pushed him to take things so far. Why push me? Are you all right? If you're asking whether I'm going to slide down the slippery slope, no, I'm not sorry he's dead, but I won't give him the satisfaction of becoming what he wanted me to be. That's all I need to hear, Bruce. I've spoken to Star Labs in Metropolis about taking the children in with Arkham destroyed and the GCPD in ruins. It seems the least we can do. He said he wanted to make something new out of the best of both of us. My trauma and his blended together. That might be beyond saving Clark. I can't believe that. No one is beyond saving. I'll be administering their treatment myself. They have to deal with someone they can't hurt. A psychologist spoke to one of them this afternoon, and she tried to bite her throat out. Ha! I'm sorry. That wasn't funny. You've got to be joking. More robots? Since when has a single training protocol lasted 3 hours? What I want to know, Batgirl, is what Robin did to get out of the sparring session from hell. Nightwing, I think Bruce added a new difficulty level. They've never been this dangerous before. Watch out! No kidding, Red Robin. We still have a strategy. Red Hood, don't look at me. It's bulletproof. This is Batman we're talking about. You're going to need to shut it down manually. Hey, Batman, appreciate you brushing up our basics, but it's been years since you brought any of us in to train in the cave. Something's wrong. Talk to us, Bruce. We're family. You're right, Dick. I've been stalling, but there's no hiding from the truth. When I killed the Joker, I was infected with a new strain of nanotoxin, unlike anything I've seen before. It was all there all along, in his heart, more virulent than anything he'd ever unleashed, trapped in his cells, harmless, unless he died. Yes, Barbara. As soon as necrosis hit, the toxin was released, just enough to infect one person in close proximity. Bruce. It's been at work for nearly a week, rewiring my mind to make it more like his. If the process is allowed to run its course, I'll have the same highly ordered mind I've always had, with the moral core replaced with something evil. It was his last wish, that whoever killed him would become him. Have you told anyone else? No. I wanted to be sure, Tim. I confirmed my suspicions earlier tonight and called all of you here. The training, it wasn't for the usual villains, was it? You were making sure we were ready to fight you. God, Bruce, we're not going to fight you. We're going to help you. Okay, let's problem solve. We need a prison you can't break out of until we find a cure. Maybe the Phantom Zone? No, that won't work. Then we'll find another way. Look, we were trained by the world's greatest detective. None of us are going to rest until you're put right. And if you're worried about the city, we'll work in shifts, helping them through the chaos, post-Joker. No, you don't understand. Yes, we do, Bruce. We've all been hurt by that monster before. This is just one of the Joker's games, the last one. You prepared us for this. I know. That's why I brought you here. Well, we're here to help. No, not to help, Jason. I brought you here because the four of you would notice something was wrong with me before anyone else would. And I'm sorry. But I can't allow that. Bruce, what are you doing? Something you were prepared for. Ha 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 ha! I've been thinking a lot the last few days about the man I was. Bruce, I just walked through the Justice League trophy room, and it struck me how many weapons we've gathered over the years. I remember how I justified bringing them here. You thought they should be destroyed, but I pushed. I want to know how they worked. And I do, Superman. I know how to operate doomsday machines that could level cities in seconds. They used to keep me up at night, but I didn't. Know why? Now that my mind's been put right, I finally understand. It's so simple. I wanted to use them, Clark. I wanted to use each and every one of them. But why? Why have you done this? The same reason. Because I want to. Because I don't have to hold back anymore. Hell, I'm disappointed. I only get to do this once. Do you realize how many ways I know how to kill you? The people, they'll see what you are. They'll fight back. They better. What fun would it be if they didn't fight back? Oh God, Clark! What has he done? Dad, my eyes! Something's wrong with my eyes! I'm scared! Why don't you pull out the old Superman magic, puff out that old chest of yours, and tell your wife and son that it's gonna be all right, that the good guys are going to win in the end. I won't cheapen what I stand for. I won't lie to my family. Aw, that's okay. You can lie to mine. Father, can I play with John now? Just a moment, Damien. The grown-ups are talking. You did this to your own son? It only took a little push, and he did it to himself. Gave me the idea for what I'm going to do to you. This is a modified strand of black kryptonite. When I tested it on Supergirl, she ripped her family apart before it killed her. Bruce, you don't have to do this. I know. Catch. Lois, stand. Mom, what's happened? Clark, John, stand back. Get back. Ah! It was simple, really, killing my world. No matter what they threw at me, armies of villains, alien tyrants, the wrath of God, they were all just problems to solve, one by one, methodically, with precision and blood, until the world was ash under my feet, until the firmament began to shake and cosmic nothing swallowed everything I knew. It felt right. I had served my greater purpose. There was no lower to sink. Or was there? Barbatos showed me the dark multiverse, volatile and roiling with cosmic horror. It was beautiful. I saw how small I had been thinking. There were countless worlds left to kill, and one world above them all where Batman lived. The Batman. Barbatos and I said I was the perfect weapon to unleash upon this world, to drag it kicking and screaming into the dark. But I wouldn't do it alone. How could any world survive the likes of us? The likes of me? I think he understood on some level. The Joker, not entirely, of course. He was too single-minded for that, but he saw the potential. He saw that the two of us were incomplete without the other. He knew that we needed to evolve into something new, together, something more. He used to call me a Bat King, ruling over my dark kingdom. And what is a king, really? It's a powerful card, the highest valued face card in the deck. Not infallible, to be sure, but potent. And the Joker card, on its own, it has no inherent value. It's defined by what it's played against, dangerous in its potential more than anything. But if you hold the two together in a hand, they can hold nearly any value. They can shift and adapt to any threat they face. And so can I. That's what's so frightening, isn't it? You've played this game so many times, and you can see the cards on the table. You know that I have already won against any hand you could play against me, but you haven't put together now. I'm going to do yet. The heroes, they're nearly dead already. Their cities have fallen. This whole world has begun to sink into the infinite dark below. How could it get worse? What else could we have up our sleeves? You want to see, don't you? You're terrified, but you're just dying to find out. Here, let me show you. They're coming. Every nightmare this multiverse has ever had, they are armed and ready for invasion, waiting for the door to open, waiting for my command. When I was Bruce Wayne, I thought with enough preparation I would always win, but I was wrong. I was trapped in an unwinnable war, refusing to see the obvious answers right in front of me, the answers that are so clear to me now with victory right around the corner. To win, you need to adapt. And to adapt, you need to be able to laugh away all the restraints, everything holding you back. You see, a Batman who laughs is a Batman who always wins. Ha! 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 Ha!